Yo, what's going on, Dane?
The shit that I say backstage before the show comes on is hilarious.
I don't even know if I want to know.
What's up, buddy?
How's it going, man? It's good to see you. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Failure Made Monsters. We got a lot to get into today. More specifically, a lot that really has nothing to do with anything important. We just feel like talking about it because we were talking about it during the week, and it sounds like fun. Like, what's your favorite Fast and Furious movie? You know?
Hey, first of all,
no, don't, not yet. Conversation's going to have to happen. But before that conversation happens, before we talk about Derek Chauvin and before we talk about Rudy Giuliani and before we talk about the rest of the news, there's one very important thing that needs to be done.
What's that? Wait.
Wait,
that's right.
Oh.
Represent the lobby, not the people. 4 years in a sequel. The bottom line is the bottom line. They represent the full, not the hungry. The NASDAQ, not the country. The bottom line is the bottom line. They represent the greedy, not the needy and seedy backroom dealings. The bottom line is the bottom line.
Billions and billions and billions.
See, I took it a different way.
Oh, you changed the fucking.
Yo,
you changed it up.
because I actually like that line too. The NASDAQ, not the country. Woo!
The NASDAQ.
Yo, if you haven't heard the bottom line is the bottom line by Failure Made Monsters. If you haven't seen that fucking video,
you and me now at this point, since we kind of rebranded the show Failure Made
Monsters. Whatever. Either way,
go listen to it. It's on the internet.
Either way, it's under Failure Made Monsters.
You can find it that way, but look it up. Santino the Misfit, Dane Alexander. Bottom line is the bottom line. It's on YouTube. We got a sweet little video. There's like stuff exploding. Dane and I freaking out next to each other in a tiny room with a lot of lights. It's a good time.
Just some good factual fucking information. You'll fucking love it.
It's true. You will enjoy
it. Put it on. Okay, here's an idea. Put it on just before you start having sex, and I promise you, it will set the mood perfectly.
The bottom line will indeed be the bottom line.
The bottom line will be the bottom line.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Failure Made Monsters. If you aren't familiar with us, my name is Santino the Misfit, and this is my co-host, compatriot, and cohort,
Dane Alexander, but you can call me the Great for short, though.
Indeed, you can. And on this show, we like to talk about everything from porn stars to politics. So if you have a weak constitution or you do not like watching people drink copious amounts of alcohol,
look.
Smoky.
No, seriously, leave.
Seriously, though, get the fuck out. Hi, everybody. And also, you can head over to Twitch at Santino the Misfit, Dane the Great, or go to Mainstream Misfits YouTube and interact with us in the chat here. And we're saying hi to everybody joining us in the chat. Thank you guys if you're new viewers, we appreciate you coming in. And if you're old viewers and you've been around for way too long, listening to us ramble for way too much, we appreciate you coming back. So thanks, guys. So obviously, Dane, you wanted to get into the news that just kind of broke a little before we popped on.
Yes. Yes.
We alluded to it with the little note at the bottom there. 22 and a half years, huh?
Wow. Justice. That's what it looks like. All right, look, here's what I'm going to say. So, friend of mine, the way that I found out about it is a friend of mine posted about, and for the record, it's the Derek Chauvin sentencing. And basically it was something along the lines of, hey, justice has been served. You know, he got 22 and a half years, blah, blah. And me having been through the other justice system so many fucking times that, you know, I realized just how this shit fucking works. First thought in my mind was, okay, what about after appellate court? Because that's a big thing. And also, like, what you get sentenced with and what you end up actually doing are two very separate things a lot of the time. Yeah. So depending on good time, depending on like your behavior, depending on appeals, like all of these things can dumb down your time, like especially in the long run. So when you start with something as light as 22 and a half years, understand that that's going to get
light as.
I mean, really light. I mean, considering what you did, considering what you were found guilty of, that's pretty fucking light. But like when you start with something like anything less than, 50, a nickel, fucking, or I'm sorry, 25, something along those lines, you're going to get ticked down until it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 12, 10 to 15. And that'll be before he even like does any real appeals or anything. After that, and then they take into account that he's a fucking cop and all that fucking shit. Like, and once the news coverage and all the attention dies down and you're like a few years in, I'd be remiss. I'd be hard pressed to think that this motherfucker is going to do much more than about seven years, maybe 10 if you're really fucking lucky. So it's
that big of a difference.
Yes, bro. Wow. Yes. And now again, well, for the first time, I would like to make note or make a note of the fact that I am not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I've just seen the way this shit. I know, right? You would think.
I come to you for. I don't know about you guys, but
as much as I've been, which is
great for all of my legal advice.
Which is with as much as I've been in court, you would think by now. No, yeah, seriously, no, but like it's one of those things where like I get it. Yeah, it's something to celebrate because yeah, of course, you know, something was done. Yeah, it's few and far between, to be honest. It's one thing and it's a drop in the bucket. In a much grander scheme of things. And I mean, my thing is, if that's the case, if you're saying 22 and a half, then let's hold it to that. And like, let's like deny all appeals and let's, you know what I mean? Let's actually like keep enough attention on him that he ends up doing the majority, if not all of that fucking sentence. But in the, like they would do to us, you know, because you unbalanced.
Yeah. You say us,
but you know, yeah.
But we all know if both of us go to court for something.
Oh, I'm getting more.
I might be a Talarican, but your ass is getting locked up for a long time. I'm getting more.
Like if I'm there long enough for them to pull like jackets and shit, and it's something like decent enough where and especially given, you know, like my state in life and whatever, I'm almost positive I'd at least end up doing real fucking time, whereas you probably might not. But yeah, I like this. Probably might not. wait, cool. I'm okay with that. Hi, hello, Natalie. Fuck his mom too.
Howdy.
Hey, Natalie.
Hey, Stokes. Fuck his mom too.
Oh, because she was like on
and his little dog too.
She was like on the stairs. Like they asked her about it or something like that, and at no point did she like acknowledge any like remorse on his behalf for like what he had actually done. She just kind of glossed over.
A lot of people who don't.
Yeah. So it was like
I have no direct connection to him.
So it was like everybody was looking at like, well, that's how he became the man he is, probably.
Sure. I mean, in the whole culture, you know, the whole culture of in those wings, those groups of people, it's not uncommon. There's a couple of people in here talking to you. He won't.
I'm sorry. That was clip. That was good.
She was like, if you sentence my son, you're sentencing me too. Good bitch. Your son is a murderous piece of shit.
Thank you. See that kind of shit. I like that part of what has come from this. It's like,
well, you know,
delicious.
People have more of a visceral reaction to stuff after watching it happen. You know,
on tape.
Yeah, like as I say in an upcoming song of ours, people on watching crimes on Facebook Live, we went from spectator to witness, and that's fucking truth.
That's so good. We should put that out.
It's coming out. It's coming out. We're making it happen.
Okay,
we're making it happen. Anyway,
like
you fucking better.
No. I will say this. I hope that it is at least the start of a real fucking trend. That would be nice. But if that's the case, then we need to also keep talking about Breonna Taylor. You know what I mean? There's 3 officers that need some time out of that shit right fucking now.
There's a whole host of people that require this level of attention. The truth of the matter is they really don't require this level of attention.
Right.
For any other reason other than it's not being handled properly.
Right. It should
by the justice system.
It should be like anything else. If somebody gets popped for some shit or whatever, like how everybody looks at it, like, oh yeah, that whatever happens to them is what's supposed to happen to them. And it should be like an afterthought. Like, this is the way the system works. If you don't want to face these repercussions, don't break the fucking law. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's make it like that. You know, like, it's like, I heard that shit growing up. I heard that shit so fucking much. It drove me nuts. People were like, it's this blanket statement. Well, if you didn't want to end up in jail, if you didn't want to end up losing your family and your livelihood and blah, blah, for the rest of your life, if you get a fucking felony, then you shouldn't have broken the fucking law. And it's like, yeah, from over there, I can see how that shit makes nothing but sense. But when you get in this shit, this trench that y'all threw everybody in and like created that makes it real fucking hard to get out of. Anyway. I digress, but
no. And to that point, let's. This feels like a good segue. And by the way, if you guys are new to the show or you're not familiar, we kind of go through the news. We go on a tangent. We go through the news. We go on a tangent, and then somehow we end up talking about dicks for the last 40 minutes or so. So that's where we're at. So enjoy the roller coaster ride. But from I will actually segue into something that makes sense here. Did you hear what what's his name, the general from the Joint Chiefs of Staffs,
I did.
Millie.
Yeah. How
So
he's like,
you saw. So I have his quote here,
quote
and then
that.
I just saw a reaction from Tucker Carlson about it. I don't know if you saw that. So
I did.
Quote, yeah. So some of the quotes
Parts of
here, it was obnoxious, dude. So I guess the best way to set it up, really, because you're like, I don't know, man, it's just weird. I don't understand these reactions anymore. I'm a little frustrated, as I often am when it comes to this. But this is a guy I didn't expect to be this like ridiculous about it. But Tucker Carlson called this dude a pig and stupid. Because he said, and this is about it. He goes, quote, on the issue of critical race theory, etc. A lot of us have to get much smarter on whatever the theory is. But I do think it's important, actually, for those of us in uniform to be open-minded and widely read. He said this, by the way, he's defending the teaching of critical race theory in military service academies. And he also said, continuing, I want to understand white rage, and I'm white. I personally find it offensive that we are accusing the United States military, our general officers, our commissioned and non-commissioned officers of being, quote, woke or something else because we're studying some theories that are out there. He's like, I've read Karl Marx, I've read Lenin. That doesn't make me a communist, which is I think spot on. I think it's this sort of line of like anti-intellectualism that started to kind of rear its head as fake populism amongst the right, because let's be real, they don't do anything for the interest of the populace. It's always for, you know, their specific interests and the people who pad their coffers and whatnot, which is, it's like not even a fucking secret at this point. Not that it ever really was, but it's become so painfully fucking obvious. It's just, you know, how anyone doesn't see it, I don't understand.
There's no conversation to be had about it.
Oh, I see what you did there. It's like you quoted yourself.
I mean,
so, and for those of you who don't know, because I see someone in the chat wondering what is critical race theory. The short and simple version of explaining this for me to just kind of, because I actually wasn't sure either. I'd seen a lot of people talking about it. I thought I'd kind of loosely seen conversations and heard people talking about it, but I didn't really go and, well, what exactly is it? And it sounds more complicated than it is, but very simply, it's, hey, why don't we teach the actual fucking history of the United States that includes the many things, atrocities and policies and politics, power struggles, fucking massacres and whatnot that have occurred that have shaped the country that we are now. So like, let's teach students in school that the Tulsa massacre happened. I didn't know that.
So yeah,
I'm a pretty well-read guy, and I didn't even know about that until HBO was doing specials on it and shit, you know?
And that's a caveat to add. It's not even just about teaching things that you haven't been taught. It's about teaching the actual way things happened that are really whitewashed and really glossed over. Yeah. Like, to where the narrative is completely changed. Facts are absolutely blurred. And that's how, you know, the majority of the curriculum has been presented. So you have a lot of people, especially in the South, that come up with shit like states' rights. You know what I mean? That create this whole way of thinking out of that type of teaching. So they want to, okay, let's pull back the veneer and let's actually teach what actually happened. But obviously,
because what people don't realize, to that exact point, people don't realize that they were taught things that are not true. Like there are things we know to be as like Snapple facts, but you know, based on actual history, like George Washington having wooden teeth when he actually had the teeth of like slaves. Like, that's a big fucking difference, you know. Or the fact that George Washington himself or Benjamin Franklin had slaves, or that Benjamin Franklin, I believe specifically, so Thomas Jefferson
had
a 14-year-old black girl locked in a basement.
He had whole concubines. He had whole mistresses. He had whole like.
And this is shit we weren't. No, look, I get you don't want to teach like a 10-year-old about concubines. Right. Fine, but at the very least, not including the fact that our founding fathers and some of the greatest minds in American history, because let's be real, they did amazing things as well by shaping the democracy we are today. But they were flawed in that they were were products of their time and products of broken logic,
Right.
of a broken way of thinking that we have
Well,
is broken.
If you're taught at your most impressionable that everything that kind of went on that was, you know, a dark past was more of it was a mistake. It was an accident. Nothing really that bad. Then you grow up with this mentality that it's why you get a lot of the right coming into the fray. Like, well, you guys are just overblowing it. It wasn't even that big a deal.
Yeah.
Get over it, because you were never really like led to see what came to bear during that era.
We are better educated on the atrocities of other countries,
right?
Like the Holocaust.
Mm-hmm.
Like I learned far more about World War II and the Germans' atrocities against people and Hitler and Stalin and whatnot than I did about our own fucked up past, because while I do think this is a wonderful country for a lot of reasons, and we have some amazing qualities about us,
Absolutely.
and the general concept of America is pretty remarkable when you really look at everything else that came before it. Right. You know, like this was a pretty fucking quote radical idea that worked and became the largest superpower.
It was a bunch of rebels that said "fuck you, government," dipped out and made a fucking country
straight up, and it worked.
I mean, they stole it, but they still, that's what they did. So
again, but that's another thing too. Like we were taught, like if you asked young me how this started, it was like Christopher Columbus and the Pilgrims showed up, and there's a bunch of rhymes about it, and the Indians were like,
the Indians taught us how to fish and how to hunt.
And everyone was all hunky dory, and they had turkey and shit or something on one day.
If you knew the real story of Pocahontas, you would want to vomit. You would want to vomit. It's so fucked up.
So that's critical race theory, and that's why people, I think, and it's so for someone like Tucker Carlson, who is, pretty well educated to my understanding, because he went to like a good school and all that shit. Like for someone like that to be like, no, we shouldn't be teaching this shit and calling you like a pig and stupid for just positing that, hey, we should all learn the views of other sides. It's like. It's funny. Did you guy who rallies against cancel culture, right? Who are people like, no, you shouldn't be talking about this. Is the guy saying, no, you shouldn't be talking about this? Like, it's our way, this specific narrow version of our way, and that's fucking it. The right invented cancel culture. Don't fucking forget that shit.
There's also something to be said about. Did you see how many fucking plates of medals this fucking general has? On his fucking, do you know what
and
this
every one of those
done?
white bars?
How dare you? And you want to say that you support the military, you support our armed forces, and how dare anybody ever say a curse word toward them? And it's like, this motherfucker is decorated. He is a general.
Absolutely. You saw Matt Gaetz's face during the speech,
bro. Oh, when he shook his head no, it's like, bitch. First of all, unless you're thinking about how you'd rather go with the 13-year-old over the 16-year-old, and you just got a text message about that, and you realize, you know what, it's the 13. No, shut the other one's too old. About you shaking your fucking head. Anyway, sorry.
I was watching something. Apparently, every white bar on his sleeve is for 6 months served in active duty. I think in service, and I'm like, that's fucking. Dude, the dude had like a fucking a small novel on the side of his arm,
Look, you gotta have there's no you're just taking it out of dude, when you say something like that toward in any way, shape, or form toward the presence of a decorated fucking general. Yeah. Provided they are, still active. There's no craziness on them. That's just, you got to have some audacity.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So when they're saying something like that, which to me just sounds like, hey, we should be open-minded about these things because they have a large impact on how our students and how our youth is brought up and how they come to understand the realities of their present and the realities that they'll shape in their future. And I'm like, yeah, that's like not all that seems pretty reasonable. Whereas you have what was the fucking, there was the other pretty decorated jerk off who was in there with Trump, who was like, yeah, there needs to be a coup.
That guy.
Third world country not long ago. So I'm like, that's
all right. That's why I said, as long as there's no craziness involved in them, they're still active. They're still fighting the good fight.
Sure. Look, I'm not. I don't want to sit I think it's fucked up for Gates or Tucker to do that shit. But at the same time, I've definitely knocked somebody who's in that military standing. I don't typically put people in uniforms up on a pedestal other than like, hey, thank you for your service. I appreciate that. But if you say something stupid, that doesn't make it less stupid.
Right.
And if you say something smart or reasonable, it's still
that.
pretty smart and reasonable. So
I will say because of my familiarity with military people, I will say I will give you a longer length of rope than I will give most other people for stupidity. Like I'll be like,
I get that.
It's okay. It's okay.
That.
Look, because I know how you could have gotten indoctrinated the way you did. And it's not my place. You know, I'll give you more room, and I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna stay calm for this, and let's talk this out. Try to get you. But like, yeah, I totally will. Aside from that, yeah, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're infallible or anything like that.
No, absolutely not. And it's not one of those things that people get weird about talking about it. Like people in uniform, like everybody, you know, has to put them on a pedestal. Like, no, you're all fucking people, dude. Like you can say stupid shit either way, and you can have a good and a bad take on stuff. Like, you know, thank you for doing this cool thing, but for like you also said some dumb shit. So. Real quick, someone in chat here is going. I'm gonna miss Trevor Noah. I hope he comes back. What?
He's done right now. They're trying to figure out what they're gonna do for how they're gonna like go back to the show because they've been doing it for so long or whatever. So he's taking. He made like an announcement that he was like taking a step back and like fucking. They were gonna come together and figure out how they were gonna do the show moving forward. So he's not like done or anything like that. They're just he's like, it's been a tumultuous year, and we just want to get everything. Yeah, he's like, we need to take a step back and figure out what the best way.
He deserves a break, man.
But
super active.
Conan is done.
I saw that. Did you see the Paul Rudd? Show up, do the whole thing.
Now I need to see it.
I kind of don't want to ruin it. If you get the opportunity,
go play it. Can you play? You can't play it.
No, we'll get the MCA. But Paul Rudd showed up and with what's his name?
Don't tell me. I'll watch it.
No, Bill Hader. So the interview is with Bill Hader, and then Paul Rudd shows up, and then they set some stuff up, and it's about an
SEO. All right, shut up.
That's it.
I got it.
Fuck you, go watch.
I'm with it.
It's really good.
28 years, Conan O'Brien, and he's
still going to be on TV, but he's just not.
He's just not doing the show anymore. But he had a really cool saying or a good quote, and I wanted to repeat it. I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember it exactly, but I just heard it. He's like, if you get to do what you love with people you love, count yourself lucky and understand that's like the best possible scenario. He's like, so whatever it is. And it just hit me. I was like, damn, that's all it is. So you take the money, you take the clout, notoriety, fame, all this you take all that shit away, and it's just like, do you get to wake up every day and do the shit you love with people you love to be around that love you back?
This is the reason that I have been so stubborn in my pursuit of making my income based on something creative that I enjoy, like music or film or anything. Because anytime I dip my toe in something else, like, don't get me wrong, I like doing the beauty brand and stuff. It has its perks, and I've done other stuff in web design and graphic design and shit for years, and odd jobs here and there. But like, I text you about that. I saw that.
The what?
Look at that.
The what brand?
The beauty brand. Oh, you got those. You look fucking fantastic makeup remover towel.
Yeah, I got the black one.
YouLookFF.com.
I love that this one has a little pocket on the back.
Soft touch exfoliating corner, sir.
Is that what it's called? There's a name. Yeah. Look at that. Look, guys, look. So you just slip right in there, and you can just.
Yep. But if you turn your fingers inside there, that little piece of fabric there. Is an exfoliating corner.
Look
good
at
for the
that. This shit right here. I am sold, sir.
Enjoy.
Thank you
for being one of our new customers.
All right. So back to what you were saying.
Yeah, well, I like doing all this stuff, but I want to do the stuff that brings me great joy, because I don't even on the bad days doing music and doing film and all that and working with bands or whatever. They're never even close to the shittiness of a bad day doing a regular job of any other kind.
In a cubicle.
I couldn't do that.
Sorry, I'm not. I'm not bagging on anybody that works in a cubicle. I did it for years, but
for me, fuck
yeah,
that. But
I would jump out the window if I had to do it.
it's
now.
straight up. And I've literally lived on couches before I was willing to do that.
Same.
Yeah, I'd rather have my freedom to do the things that I want to do, you know, than the other thing. And to each their own. Some people prefer the other thing. Some people like the security of it. Some people don't like the insecurity of doing the things that we do to try and make money. And I get it. That has its own levels of stress and its own caveats for sure. Just for me personally,
You know,
I can't not.
When I think about it, when I really gnaw it down to the marrow, I think what it really is listen, I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So here's the thing.
All right, let's fucking get into it. Are you ready?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I am so fucking ready.
We'll talk about the rest of the news later.
We'll skip that. We'll do that later.
Skip it. Let's go.
Pin in it. Here's the thing. So for you watching at home or in your cars or wherever the fuck, this fucking guy. First of all, I hit him up and I'm like, all right, look, I'm gonna just say it out loud. Everything that I've seen as far as reviews for Fast and F9 are like it's fucking terrible. F9 they just threw away reality and they just went so far that it like shits on the fan base and
jumped the shark.
Shits on the lore of that they built this whole time. Now, I did not see that. By the way, I haven't either because I refused.
I don't think I saw F8 either. Did I?
I did. I tell Santino that Santino first his first response was, "Oh well, fucking Tokyo Drift was my favorite one of the whole." That
was not my first response, sir.
All right, say your first response.
That I would probably still watch it because I don't care what people who review films say.
Well, okay.
And so then, like, I went on to say that I can't. And then I went on to say, and the reason for that is because one of the hardest panned in the entire series is Tokyo Drift, and that happens to be my favorite of the Fast franchise.
Okay, so first of all, Tokyo Drift.
I did not say it was the best movie of the Fast franchise. I said it was my favorite.
Here's where we differ, right? So I never.
Hold on. I didn't look at this comment. What? Segway Hall of Famer right there,
sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been working on it. No, but so fucking like I didn't look. So you gotta understand, I didn't look at these movies probably until Tokyo Drift. I never looked at these movies like they were just popcorn fodder. Like it was just it was dumb for me because like I was like car dude, muscle cars, fucking. I drive most cars. I was waiting for them to put bikes in. Like when I saw Fast and Furious, I was kind of in that world. I was immersed in that shit. I was like, yo, I'm with this shit.
I knew everything you were talking about.
They started to go like I think the last one that I really liked was the one in Brazil. Like for whatever reason, when they opened that safe, I was just like, this is life.
When they dragged it through the highway,
right? But
that's
then
one of the best scenes in all of the Fast,
and they really did that anyway.
Yeah.
But once they went like 7, 8, it was starting to get where you were like, okay, all right, I get it. They just have a license to print money, so they're gonna do it. Fuck it, whatever. It's their franchise. Who cares?
And they're only gonna do 10, so that was always the plan.
But I don't like to be made a fool of for being a fan of something. Here you are
picking on me for being a fan of Tokyo Drift.
But see, that's Tokyo Drift was trying to make they could have done that better. Putting Bow Wow in it,
1,000% done that better.
Bow Wow in it and fucking whoever the fuck.
But Bow Wow was a character that even the characters in the movie thought was corny.
Yeah. Okay. So
that was intentional.
All right.
So it was like a meta joke almost.
But even the main character, I forget his fucking name, that couldn't fucking act. God damn, I fucking hate him as an actor. I hate him as an actor.
No, I'm not.
Terrible.
I'm not a big fan either.
But here's the thing. So I was like,
but it's in Tokyo.
Whatever the fuck ever. When I saw,
and it's so quotable.
I hate you so much. When I saw
my ride.
When I saw the 8th one, and there's a scene in it where The Rock literally grabs like a fucking torpedo with his hand and like throws it across ice or some shit, steers it or whatever the fuck. I was like, okay, you guys were reaching.
When he ripped the fucking Gatling gun off the destroyed vehicle, and then when they killed the Brazilian girl like off screen and she didn't even matter, and she was like the side piece. It was like I could tell already. I was like, you guys are running out of shit. And really, I would have said, here's where it should have ended. Quintessential ending was when Paul Walker
fucking died.
Yes.
Right. And they did the farewell to him. That's your perfect ending.
That was
You guys,
a phenomenal ending.
you guys
That was-
had it.
Yeah.
You were bodying that shit. And then
why would
and
they
then
leave it though?
Like you could have kept doing spin-offs and shit like
Also,
Hobbs and Shaw.
then we wouldn't have got Hobbs and Shaw if we didn't. So I'm cool with Hobbs and Shaw.
But no, so I'm cool. Look, Hobbs and Shaw is not great.
It was good.
But it was good enough.
The
It was,
opening
it's The Rock.
sequence of the mirror.
But, and that's the other
thing. That was
and
cool.
that's the other thing. They were cool at the end of 8. They were fucking cool. They were friends. They were like exchanging witty banter and shit.
Hold the fuck up. In chat again, the world building for Tokyo Drift is top notch, and without that, I'm not sure we actually get Han as a character.
No one cares about Han as a character. He's not even a great character. They forgot he was family for like 3 movies.
Listen to me.
Oh,
listen to me.
fuck
Listen to
outta
me.
here.
All right. Listen to me.
Fuck.
Tokyo Drift had all. If it could have been done better, but to me, it's like Rush Hour, right? It's just for some reason, especially Rush Hour 3, which is not the best of the Rush Hour movies.
Best.
But
it did the most
reason,
money, I think.
Probably, but for some reason, that one of all of them, I could watch a million fucking times. And Tokyo Drift's one of those movies. It just has this replayability to me.
It's
like
all right.
I know exactly what it is. I don't watch big, serious fucking action epics or anything. I like good, feel good, goofy, fun stuff. When he races the fucking kid from
it's not supposed
Home
to,
Improvement in the beginning with his daddy's Viper.
But it's not supposed to be fun-loving, goofy. It wasn't supposed to be that.
Did you see
and I
the
feel
second
like
one?
No, it wasn't though. The second one was still like
they
brought Tyrese in, but Tyrese wasn't just fucking
and Ludacris.
No, Ludacris was in the second. They brought in Tyrese.
He ran the garage.
No, Ludacris came in the fucking after Tokyo Drift because somebody
Ludacris was in the second one and he ran the garage.
Bro, Tyrese came in.
Google it.
Tyrese came in.
You're about to be wrong for the second time today. Google it. Google
appears first in which Fast?
Just type in Too Fast, Too Furious. Ludacris. Luda was in Too Fast, Too Furious. Even Chad.
Okay, he was in Too Fast, Too Furious.
I know he was, motherfucker.
He was, but that wasn't even cornball though. He was at least fucking.
It wasn't. That movie was super cornball.
At that point,
Go watch it again.
Ludacris was the shit. No, fuck that. No,
that's what I'm saying.
Tokyo Drift was the moment it got fucking corny. Before that,
it was absolutely corny.
The reason that Tyrese even came into play was because Ja Rule didn't want to do the fucking third one, and I was just confusing Ja Rule with Ludacris that time, but.
Because Vin didn't do the second one.
Tokyo Drift made it fucking cornball.
And
that's why. Wait, hold on. I'm not done. And that's why after Tokyo Drift, they left fucking Tokyo for good.
Yes.
And Vin Diesel came back into the fucking franchise because he was like, "Fuck that! You guys will run it into the ground."
Actually, Vin Diesel's in Tokyo Drift
at the very end for 3.
He's still in it, set up for the next thing. So it wasn't like he came. Hold up.
Stop.
You don't go. Hold up. You do not shoot a scene for a film and then you had to. Hang on. You shoot the scene before the movie comes out.
That's not.
So he shot. No, he shot the fucking scene. And then, so you can't be like, "Oh, he came back."
So why not? Okay, so then how come the movie right after that wasn't? How come the movie right after that wasn't still in fucking Tokyo? Since it was such a great fucking world building, how come they didn't stay there? And then Vin Diesel is just in another movie that's in with all those main characters?
Because
they scrapped it because it was trash.
Because it was a corny ass movie, and they did a better job rebooting the entire franchise.
Yes, so that's my point.
No, hold on, you're not.
That's why you could have went without. If you cut Tokyo Drift out of the whole franchise,
I think we need.
It would be a much better franchise.
I think we need to teach, instead of critical race theory, we need to teach critical listening theory for Dane here, because I have said multiple times it is not the best film. It's just my favorite film.
Okay, I don't care if it's your. All right, here's to clarify.
I said that at the onset of the conversation.
It shouldn't be, but whatever. I'll let you have it because it's yours. Whatever the fuck.
Hold it. I could sit here and shred you for multiple things that you like that I think are trash, but we don't need. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
So, thing I love that's corny like Tokyo Drift is.
Not doing it because I love you too much. We'll leave it at that. So what I'm getting at though,
Tokyo Drift is corny as fuck.
Let's talk about this topic here. Let's stay on topic. Dang, let's try. All right. So more important than anything is dicks and butt stuff.
Okay.
According to chat, it is dicks.
So
and butt
stuff. In that case, you know what sucks dick and is also not as good as butt stuff? Tokyo Drift.
Listen to me. You listen to me. All right. The soundtrack for Tokyo Drift is fire.
All right, the soundtrack is fire. I will
Fire.
give you the
Fire.
soundtrack.
Hold it. The girls in Tokyo Drift are fire. The jokes are still funny enough for me to enjoy, and the drifting sequences are all fucking dope.
You know what would be cool?
So as a guy who likes girls and a guy who likes music, it ticks those boxes for me.
If they had it,
and they even have the old Yakuza motherfucker and everything. Like I'm obsessed with Tokyo everything. So I'm just saying
they've never had the car girls be like I'm waiting for the episode where they're like actually fucking like they are in the car mags and shit. You know, like we're a little bit thick. You know what I mean? Like they.
Oh
like,
yeah,
they don't.
Yeah.
They're all these super waif thin fucking.
Yeah,
I'm like, I wouldn't let her in my car. Like, what are you gonna do? Get your back broke?
You're not getting in it.
Yeah, no, fuck. Yeah. What? The seatbelt won't fit you. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying. You slip right through it.
Go have fun in your tennis.
Turn the air conditioning on too high, you fall out the window. It's a problem. Like I get it.
It is like, and I feel like they should have probably done that with the first one, but they've always gone that like super fucking crazy, unrealistic, unattainable like female figure, and it's just like stop with that.
Dude, but hang on, you can't sit here and judge that. And then be like, but it's totally cool that they dragged a safe through a city or jumped out of a fucking plane car or put Tyrese in space. Like,
all right, and that's the
franchise, dude.
The other thing I heard was like the way they get to space is like so fucking dumb and corny that it was just it's just too much. It's just like because like the main
popcorn movie.
The main pullback was though that like there's no stakes for the characters. Like there's nothing that can hurt them, would hurt them. They just do things. What are they gonna do?
Take someone else hostage or have another brother show up to revenge the other brother from the brothers before that?
There used to be like so if you watch the Mission Impossibles, right? Like if you watch Tom Cruise in those movies, like he's like fucking super fucking human.
Do you still watch them?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
They're a little dry now.
But like, I mean,
like I don't give a shit when a new Mission Impossible comes out because it's kind of dry.
People get hurt though, and like all that shit Tom's doing, and so I'm like, okay, I respect that.
Yeah, and that's fine, but like that's not why I watch the movie.
There's at least some care put in. That's why I watch the movie. There's some care put in.
Why the fuck is Tyrese in space?
Thank you. Preach.
Preach
to this. All right. The other thing is like plot. Like I like.
Someone goes, we're learning so much about Dane.
When I can't readily identify. Okay, this is what's about to happen next. Why the fuck am I gonna watch? I don't care popcorn or not. I'm not trying to watch a movie where I'm like, I know exactly every fucking next move every word that's gonna come out of their mouth.
Hold up. First, the fuck off. You would not, if not for the trailer or this chat, go in to watch Fast 9 and think, oh, Tyrese's ass is going to end up in space.
I would know that because that dumbass fucking jokes, that shit's been a joke meme since the last one came out. So I knew they were going to fucking do it.
This is what I'm saying. But I'm saying like generally, if it weren't like for the internet, I'm saying because otherwise you could spoil literally every movie ever made.
And also, I don't like ever since after Brazil, when they did that one, 6, whatever it was. Ever since after that one, I don't like Tyrese as a person and as an actor.
After
he's still in the movies.
With The Rock,
and I love the ones with like if you told me The Rock was going to be in space, I'd be like, yep, sign me up. I'm down. I want to see
you're biased
this motherfucker go to space. Tyrese is trash because he doesn't do shit.
Doesn't
add to the narrative at all.
I'm indifferent.
Shit, man, they got a fucking planet. Shut the fuck up, Tyrese. Go cross. Anyway, sorry, I don't want to be like that because he's a human being, and people go through shit, and I don't want to belittle his struggle.
It's fine. I got nothing against him. I wouldn't go see a movie because he was in it, but I wouldn't not see a movie. Because
I wouldn't watch a commercial because Tyrese is in it. Fuck.
He's like he's like just one of those guys. Like like I expect him in this.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's like
in that one thing. Like he hasn't done anything other than that one. Have you noticed that? Like, okay, so he had a good run. Tyrese was doing shit like he was doing shit like Baby Boy. Like he was doing some. He was taking some meaty roles, and he was like doing real good at them.
And then he got paid and said, "Fuck this, I'm gonna live my life and do a movie every few years with Vin Diesel where they throw my ass in space in a Supra."
I guess, and it's like fuck, and that's why I don't. No respect. I'm sorry. I just don't care about him anymore. I don't.
Real quick, the show has made it when we have spam bots in the Twitch chat. Thank you. Thank you, W Buster 2009.
Hey, you want to become famous?
Appreciate you.
Buy followers?
We made it.
Nice.
That's it.
Who said, wait, what? He does to add him and Luda. Wait,
Or like Stewie and Brian.
Fuck out of here. Gross. They're not.
Oh, real quick. Can we
we
just acknowledge that Ludacris is still, to me right now, of this new movie, he's the most exciting part about it.
Yes. Okay. That easily, you could take Tyrese out and just leave Luda. They're doing the same job.
You could take everybody out. And if Ludacris were still in a Fast and Furious movie, I'd still want to see it because Luda's in it. Not because Luda's a great actor. I just absolutely love Ludacris as like a person and an artist.
Because I used to
he's just so fucking likable. If you don't like Ludacris, you have a problem. You have no soul.
That's sad though, because I used to look at Vin Diesel was a fucking presence. Like when the first couple of movies, he was like, you just seeing him, you're like, this motherfucker's about to do some damage, like whatever it was. And now he's like this caricature of himself.
You know why?
And it's like, it's sad. I know exactly why, but it's just sad that like
the exact same character and everything.
I'm aware, but he didn't used to do that.
I will say though, he still fucks up the character of Riddick well. I like when he plays Riddick.
It's a paycheck at this point, and it's just I don't know. It's sad. It's just I'm just stating what it feels like.
If they could do a Riddick movie right, if they could do like Pitch Black again, I'd watch the shit out of that.
Shut the fuck up. Did Luda really do a fucking episode of
Law and Order?
Shut up. Get the fuck. I'm not saying whoa. I'm not saying shit wrong with Luda. Luda's, I mean, he's. I love the way he took a turn in his career.
Do it.
Just saying, it just sucks that everyone else, like, okay, the only thing that was comparable, in my opinion, to who Vin Diesel was and what kind of presence he commanded in these movies and in all his movies was Paul Walker. Now Paul Walker's gone. Now all you have is this cast of just like basically.
Well, you know what else? You know what else happened? You know what else happened? You put Vin next to fucking Statham, who could actually fuck everybody up, and then you put him, but then more than that, you put him next to The Rock.
I think it's more just name one motherfucker who could stand next to The Rock and seem menacing the way. If you've ever seen Vin Diesel in Knockaround Guys, right? And you watch him, you watch him in that movie, and what he was doing with his approach to acting. Hang on, hold on, let me finish. Hold on, and then you look at what he's had to become to keep that check going. I'm not saying it's the stories that the characters are placed. That's what I'm talking about. You're talking about a guy who's tough in a very real world situation versus the guy who's throwing Tyrese into space. That's what it used to be. Yeah, but Santino, that's what I'm talking about. He can easily do that again with the right film. Right. Santino, I think you're losing me. I'm saying that's the problem, because if he was still able to do that, it would still be something where you're like, damn, this guy's commanding. But now because they've overblown it to this crazy. It'd only be in that movie though. It wouldn't be like, you still wouldn't think that. But he did it. He did it with Riddick too. How he was in Riddick and Pitch Black. And can we just acknowledge how Pitch Black is still the best of the Riddick franchise? Oh, fire! That fucking movie was phenomenal for what it was. Like, but like Chronicles of Riddick was not. It was not. It was okay. I was watchable. Right. But like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, watchable. as soon as you take him and his persona to this on 10, same with The Rock. Like when you put them in this running through building shit, it's like, all right, bro, but you can act though. Like, I don't know. Yeah, well, actually, I'd probably give Vin more credit for being able to act than The Rock, from what I've seen. I don't know. Have you seen Faster? I have, and it was. I don't know. The Rock and Faster. Hold on, and I don't compare. But like, real quick, if you had to pick Vin and Knockaround Guys or Rock and Faster, it's not even a contest, right? It's not a contest. Faster was good, but Knockaround Guys was phenomenal. I don't know. That's a tough, because they're neither one of them. If you said Vin, those movies are not on the same level. If you said Vin in Saving Private Ryan, or you said Vin in what is it? Not Rounders. What was the other one? Where they're telemarketer guys. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, he was in that. It was like they were like fucking telemarketing tycoon dudes, and they like, fuck, somebody in the chat who knows that movie. He was like Savages, right? No. It was him and a couple other people. Oh fuck! But they were like, all. Does anybody know in the chat? Somebody help me. All right. Well, anyway, like
The Boiler Room.
Boiler Room. There you go.
I didn't see that.
Yes.
Was
Oh,
it
watch
good?
Boiler Room. It's really good. Yeah. Like that was him being Vin without having to be Vin. You know, he was just like, I'm gonna walk.
That's
in
like
this fucking
Knockaround
room.
Guys.
But Knockaround Guys was more like that was just him being himself. It was in his wheelhouse. He was just like, yeah, I'm a tough guy. But this was like I'm a tough guy, but in a corporate setting, which you could never imagine him in, and he nails it. And he's like, okay, that kills anything that The Rock has ever done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like again, so
Yes,
fine. Thank you,
Ryan. It was Boiler Room.
So fucking there's not like anything. Look, The Rock is one of my all-time favorite human beings on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been a fan of The Rock
awesome.
since he was the Brahma Bull, like old school Rocky.
He's
My
amazing.
idea, like he's the fucking man. Like
Shout out if you ever see his Dwayne DJ, yo.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, remember me from Ballers? I had that one little. Yeah, you remember?
Stop, Dane, stop. You got a better chance of Vin Diesel watching this shit.
True.
So you better start pandering to the other guy. The other big bald guy.
You remember Tooth Fairy and Pacifier? They were the same guy. Like I feel like they've had a very similar. Like The Rock and Vin have had similar tracks.
Except The Rock has done more of those like popcorn flicks, and Vin did a few like serious ones. The Rock really just did fat. I mean, I will say, you know what I have to give The Rock more credit for was The Rundown, early film, right, with Sean William Scott.
The Rundown was pretty good. The Rundown was.
I think one of the best acting jobs, if I remember him and Sean William Scott, was Southland Tales.
That's The
You
Rock.
ever see that?
No, that's The Rock.
Watch that shit. And when
It's
The
Rock.
Hold it. You know what? I gotta take something. And when The Rock is in Be Cool, you ever see Be Cool?
Be Cool was good.
Yeah, when he
plays
plays the big gay actor character, it's fucking hilarious.
He
He gets the red aluminum bat and shit.
Yeah, see, like that's
he was great in that. But that's
the
comedy,
guy.
though.
I know, but like
He
just
can do
being able
comedy better than
to
Vin can.
embody something that you're not just prone to look like and be is like, okay, that's the point. And
Good
they get paid so much to not be that. They get paid to be this overblown caricature of who they are.
For sure.
But it's like, it is what it is at this point. You just take it for that. Be glad you're getting anything.
So Ryan in chat's asking, the Rundown was good. Yes, it was. But have you seen Ballers? Is it good? Dane was in it.
I was in it, and
Dane
if
was
you
in an episode of Ballers,
yes, find
I've
me.
seen it. It's a fantastic show.
I will. I'm in season 2. If you find me, and
it's Entourage, but with sports.
Yeah, with sports
and less misogyny.
And Russell Brand
is a shame, really, because Entourage is amazing.
Russell Brand is another one of my favorite fucking people on earth.
Oh,
he low-key is like this motherfucker. Like being around him on set and just like.
So you were in an episode with him?
Yeah, when I don't want to give it away, but whatever. He like become like The Rock is trying to be.
You're gonna ruin it for Ryan.
No, The Rock is trying to be like an agent for him or something like that.
Yeah,
and like just his approach to like acting and like being in this big budget shit, he does not fucking care. Like Russell does not. He'll like come out of his trailer. He'll be like out of his trailer, smoking a cigarette and shit. And I'm like, yeah, we're ready on set, blah blah. He sits there, just kind of whatever, like just does not. He just doesn't. It's not like a big like the end all be all for him.
Over that after everything.
Yeah, he's
over that. You ever watch his podcast?
Sure, yes.
He's
on another wavelength.
Yeah, I like him a lot, man. I've always had a great respect for him, just as like an actor and a comedian. Like I always like to stand up and shit. He's just obviously a very intelligent guy, but funny as hell, and he's had a similar kind of. Minus the addiction portion of it, but with the being heavy and the losing weight and all that, and kind of having people's perception of you change so much. And all, like I went through all that, and hearing him talk about it, I'm like, I resonate with a lot of that. And then trying to figure out what you want to do, and then getting tastes of things and realizing like part of this isn't how you want it. You know, like there's too many caveats to X, Y, and Z, and just it's interesting watching him go through that whole journey of trying to figure out like, all right, I know the things that I think I want, but what of those things actually fulfills me or makes me happy and is sustainable in that way without, taking shit too far.
Right.
And being a musician, like, the shit we've done, like you're around stuff that makes it real easy to take shit too far.
If you ever get the inclination to like look into Russell Brand's fucking like addiction phase, his and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van
Damme. Shit. Jean-Claude Van Damme, if you're not familiar, this motherfucker, when he was shooting Street Fighter,
was out of his
Had
fucking
a
soul.
had a 10K a week blow addiction, blow habit. 10K a week.
Knowing this
for
now,
anybody
and
that
watching his performances,
for anybody that like is unaware of what the price of like something like cocaine is, I've heard people have told me
have told you
that a gram of cocaine is like, I mean, even back then you're talking maybe $100 or $150 if it was like, you know, in the 80s, I think.
For those of you who don't know, a gram is a fair amount.
Yeah, that's a good amount. $10,000. That's like that's half a key. That's half a kilo, because a key is about 20, something like that. I think.
What's the key, Dane?
A kilogram is 1,000 grams. So you're doing somewhere around 500 to 600 grams of cocaine a week.
How do you not die?
How do you not die? Like, that makes no sense.
And then how do you live long enough? Then how do you live long enough to do a split between two semi trucks?
Bro, and you're like the biggest star on fucking earth for like a while. You know, like he was really managing like a career being the biggest martial artist on earth actor. You know, it's like, how the fuck are you on that much drugs? That's crazy. That is insane. I don't know how your heart doesn't just pop and hate you.
I haven't seen it. I know he's doing a show where he's playing like a slight caricature of himself with like the
and it's really good. It's like JCVD or some shit like that. It's really good. It's really, really good. He got all kinds of he got nominated and won a few awards for it just because it's like some of the best acting he's ever done in his career. And it's all just
one of those dudes who just doesn't. He seems like Russell Brand in the way he just doesn't give a fuck. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the case with Russell, but I feel like Jean-Claude Van Damme is one of those dudes who just like he just probably did whatever the fuck he wanted when he wanted to.
Bro, I mean, in the throes of it. He had to have, and it's one of those things where like, I mean, look, that was in the late 80s. That was like you're still in the prime of being in the industry, and just you can indulge your addictions to your heart's content because nobody really knows. There's no social media. You're not nobody's gonna, unless they're like you really get aired out. Nobody's gonna ever find out. Oh, he's doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, or she's doing all this stuff. So like a lot of people like were at another level of addiction than anything you could ever possibly imagine. But we're functioning celebrities. We're functioning working actors, working musicians. It's mind-blowing.
Agree. I think removing these layers of mystery and privacy to celebrity and creatives and whatnot has been maybe one of the biggest downsides to the age of information with the internet and all. You know?
Elaborate. What do you
mean? There's a desire for it on top of there being too much access to people who let themselves be on like Twitter and whatnot, or every little thing they do be recorded or filmed, or every little, if someone's like XYZ celebrity fucking farted and TMZ does a report on it and shit, like, you know, there's all like the mystique of like these guys, like a guy like Van Damme at the time, like had any of that gotten out could have maybe ruined his fucking career, which is really
at the time.
Which is really not necessary though. Like, do what the fuck you want to do. You want to be a mess, be your own mess and stuff. And if it's working for you, and then you can maybe figure it out and come back around, do the thing. But it's just shit like that. I think there's too much of this expectation of you to be available more than any human being really. And
like low key perfect. Did you hear about Britney, by the way?
I did. The conservatorship and that whole
her dad's
that was on my list of shit to talk about, but
sorry,
it's pretty fucked up. I heard Justin Timberlake came out in her defense too, which was really cool.
That's cool. I mean, he would have had to because he was kind of there. You know what I mean? Like he's
got a better insight than most do. Like
right.
You know, from a third party, I'm not a huge Britney fan. I've very loose information about all of this that's going on with this. I've kind of been catching tidbits here and there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, it's easy to kind of look at it on a surface glance and think like, well, yeah, I mean, she kind of lost it a bit. And then you saw some of those videos she was posting on Instagram and you're like, even recently, and you're like,
Woo!
Definitely a
She was
little
spiraling. Yeah.
you're weird. At bare minimum, you're weird. But being weird shouldn't mean you shouldn't be able to do shit. If that's the case, like
Yeah, no.
you'd take away everything I have. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
you know what I'm saying?
And I mean, especially don't let my here. The other thing is, don't ever try to use my weirdness to take my bread, bitch. I wish a motherfucker would. I'm weird, but you ain't gonna touch my pockets. Don't do that. I don't care who you are.
I agree.
Fuck out my face. Okay, wait. Here's what I will say because, yeah, we haven't enough dicks, right? Here's the thing. So let me tell you something about how awesome it is that one, we have this show, but also that we can be as open and forthcoming with our likes, dislikes, whatever as we can be. Because when you say some shit on a live about what the best way to get your dick sucked is, you'd be amazed.
Dude. It's all about the film.
You'd be amazed at the kind of effort people go through just to be someone that fulfills that need for you. And it's thank you, social media, in that regard. Like, you can get out my fucking business for the most part, but if you're gonna help me get a better blowy, I'm here for it. I'm here for you. Appreciate you.
That's good.
Yeah, man. I have broadened my horizons.
I'm glad to hear that, Dane, that this show has had benefits.
Benefits.
That you don't get paid to do it. I'm glad that you still have benefits. That's good, man. That's good.
Just doing my fucking thing, getting my thing done.
I know we're wrapping up here. We're coming up on the hour, but not that that's held us in the past. But I know you have a heart out.
I have by the way, real quick, just since you mentioned it, if you're in Hollywood, try to catch me. I'm gonna be actually shooting some stuff, just kind of wandering about. So if you see me, say hi.
Shooting with film.
Yeah, not just
the camera.
Just shooting with dick.
Just saying. So
I mean, if you're lucky, you're really
all right, sir.
I'm gonna pull that back.
Right. So real quick before we go, I did.
Oh shit! Did we not? I thought that was next time. I'm sorry. Before like that happened, and I thought that was next weekend.
So did I. Is it not?
Isn't it next weekend? Didn't you want us to do that next week?
It's on Monday. Yeah.
Oh, this is somebody.
She didn't know. We have a show next week.
Yeah, we're good.
So we are. So all right, real quick. I was going to say this at the end of the show. But for those of you who don't know, we are doing one more show before we take our break for the summer, and we'll probably be back around September. We may do some shows in between, a couple little pop-up things, this sort of deal. But Dane and I will be in the same room next Friday as long as we can make
getting fucked together, teeners.
Yeah, so we're gonna touch each other's penises. It's gonna be great,
bro. So tune in. Bro. We're not really family until I touch your dick. Just know that.
That's fair. That explains your relationship with Rocky so much better now.
Hey, what up, Rocco?
Rocky Russo.
He's watching.
Anyway,
I bet
we will sing you happy birthday together in person next Friday.
Yes, I promise.
All right, if that works for you,
stand on me.
Yeah, her birthday's the 28th, so that's perfect. We will absolutely do that for you.
We got you. We got you.
So with that said, I wanted to show this. So something I missed last week. It kind of fell. It missed my radar entirely. It got posted on June 16th at Twitter. I don't know if you saw this. It's going back to the politics and shit, but there was a reporter from ABC's Rachel Scott. She was in I forget where they had it. It was in Geneva or where the fuck they had that Biden Putin meeting a week or two ago. You remember?
Yeah.
So she was one of the reporters in the press junket asking Putin questions, and she asked him a question. And I want to how this is not bigger news, or why this chick isn't fucking like super famous, or at the bare minimum, like why this didn't go viral. I do not understand. I'm gonna try. I apologize to this clip. I know it's like 5 minutes. I'm not playing the whole fucking thing, but you'll see the question. Let's see. Let's try and frame this up here. Can you hear that?
Yeah. Turn it up a little louder.
I'm curious, what did he tell you? Did he make any threats? And a quick follow-up, if I may, sir. The list of your political opponents who are dead, prisoned, or jailed is long. Alexei Navalny's organization calls for free and fair elections, an end to corruption. But Russia has outlawed that organization, calling it extremist. And you have now prevented anyone who supports him to run for office. So my question is, Mr. President, what are you so afraid of?
Wow.
She said that.
He left.
Okay. What's more?
To Vladimir motherfucking Putin.
That's big nuts.
A journalist
God
said
damn.
that
Yeah.
to motherfucking Putin.
Body
So
bag
I just
that
wanted to go
motherfucker.
out right now, and this is now officially for me, the Rachel Scott Appreciation Show. So thank you for
I'm with
being a
that.
fucking champion.
Thank
So
you.
everybody, that's it. I just wanted to go off on that note. All of you, be bold like that. That's how you should treat your fucking weekend and your life.
Yeah.
Be bold like that. That shit is inspiring. So
Get after it.
Dane, I love you, buddy. Chad,
I love
thank
you
you
right
so
back.
much for joining us. Once again, we are Failure Made Monsters. My name is Santino the Misfit. This is Dane the Great. Follow us on Twitch at Santino the Misfit, at Dane the Great. Head over to YouTube. Please subscribe to Mainstream Misfits. Also hit the notification bell. We will be back, like I said, next Friday for our last show of the season. You can check it out. That is at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because
That's how
time zones work. Head over to FailureMadeMonsters.com to find all the links. You can listen to all the audio-only versions of the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, et cetera, blah, 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 wherever podcasts are found. And that's it. That's all we got for you. Thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate you, chat. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation, as always. We'll see you all next week for the last one where Dane and I touch each other's peepees. It's going to be great. Thank you, guys. Be safe. Have a great weekend. Get vaccinated. We love you.
Peace.